This is a driver's education class. And if I can give you an honest opinion, it's going to take you further than me lying to you, because I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to lie to myself. So I'm going to go from the bottom. All of you need to put in a couple questions and lock in. What if we are entering the freeway and the entrance is backed up? Okay, you got to slow down. You're already in the exit lane. And this one, I would turn on my four ways if it's extremely busy so you don't get rear-ended. Two, I would just move slowly. I would check traffic, check my mirror, because people could be going really fast and they might rear end you. That's kind of the danger. Early morning, afternoon, rush hour. Many of you will be still in school because you're in school from that 1:30, 2:30, 3:30. Most of you aren't going on expressway. Most of you are going to go from your home to school, or from school to a job, which is 5 miles, 3 miles, 8 miles away. So you live in that 20 to 25-mile radius. That's where you guys are. Parents' radius is deeper. We might go from a suburban home to downtown. We might go from downtown to the next state over if you have a lot of driving. So your driving is different than your older brother or sisters. So you got to be aware of those ramps and look. Good question. I like that. Let's keep moving. How much can wind affect your car? I'm not a wind expert, but if the wind is pushing trees and making tree branches move back and forth and making the traffic lights move back and forth, it's going to push your car. And you're going to have to really hold that steering wheel so the car is not pushed to the left or pushed to the right. You will learn that experience as you get onto the road, because all of you will drive in rain one day. All of you are going to drive in hail one day. All of you are going to drive in snow one day. All of you are going to drive in fog one day. It's part of the learning process. So if it's too windy and you can't hold the car in the lane, you're going to have to get off. You're going to have to pull over, and that's okay. Everyone has a different tolerance. Everyone has a different anxiety level or fear level. Some of you may be scared to drive at night because you have poor vision. And for all of you, the night drive is the equalizer. The bright lights will dilate your pupils. You will not be able to see the road. So for all of you, none of you will be driving at night, because in my schedule, I don't have to drive you at night. But if it was the summer and I got 20 students, and if I want to drive 10 hours and drive 10 hours, take a day off, I might have to drive. I could drive from 10 in the morning to 10 at night, or 1 to 1. So, but you will get out there and have to make that decision. Please put solid questions in. Common mistake: run over the motorcyclists. You don't see them. They're going 100 miles an hour, cutting in and out on that crotch rocket. They got a 1,000cc bike. That's the big boy. That's the big girl bikes that go 180, that go 109. I'm not talking about a 250. I'm not talking about a 600. I'm talking about a 1,000-liter fast big bike. Women love to ride bikes. Guys love to ride bikes. Maybe your dad rode a bike, your mom rode a bike, everyone rode a bike in the family. Your dad's got an old 1,000cc Suzuki or Kawasaki. It's got some modifications on there. He or she goes to the track. As soon as you're 16, you're going to the track. You're racing it legally with your helmet and leathers on. And then when you turn 18, you get your motors. You're going to be riding with your parents. And I've had parents who do that. So you're going to learn to stay out of the way of motorcyclists. You're going to learn to give them space. And the younger, under 30, they're the ones going 80 and 90, zipping between cars. Those are the ones that won't make it, because someone's going to come over and they flip over, and I'm like, it's your fault. I'll cry for a moment, but you were going about 100 in between cars. You were going too fast. Someone cut over and you flipped and smashed your bike. So you're going to see people like that who are on the road who are not real steady. They're hitting the front brakes. They're sliding. They're barely going through lights. They won't be on that motorcycle long. So it takes a lot. And I've been on a bike a couple times. It didn't end up well. I flipped over the front because I hit the wrong brakes. So, and then I also had a friend who had a 1,000cc Kawasaki. And we were in the neighborhood going too fast. No helmet on. But when you're young, you're like, I don't care. I'm young. But if a car would have pulled out, we would have been done. So I learned from that experience, and your experience may be different. Maybe your parents ride. You're like, I ride. Okay. Put in the comments if your parents have a motorcycle. Please put in the comments if your parents have a motorcycle. Okay. There's nothing wrong with a motorcycle. Learn. Okay. I know how I am. I will go too fast. Someone's going to pull out in front of me, and I'm done. My family has banned me. I can't get a motorcycle. I already got a race car in the garage, and that's fast enough. It goes about 151, 152, but I have a roll cage. I have a fire suit. I have a helmet. I have a parachute. I have a chromoly roll cage around me in case I do crash. The cage hopefully should save me. If I flip over, I have a helmet. I have a fire suit. But when you're riding a motorcycle, you don't have that protection. So it's different. And people run lights. And motorcyclists are very reckless driving through areas. So I think motorcyclists need more training so they can be safer. When can you tell that a student is ready to move over one lane? You look over your shoulder, you check your traffic, you stay on the gas. If you lift your foot, you're going to lose 2 or 3 miles an hour. And then the cars are going 70 and 75. And then we're going to have a space, and then the space closes. And then you panic. So you got to keep your speed up. A lot of beginners in lane changes put their foot on the brake. So we want you to keep your speed up when you make a lane change. It's like walking in the hallway at school. If you're walking about 3 steps and you got to get over to the right, if you just stop, someone's going to run into you. So you know what to do. Connect your high school hallway to driving. Connect your high school hallway to making a lane change. You've been in a hallway and it's really crowded. Some of you go to 1,000, 2,000, 1,200, 1,400 student high schools. Some of you go to 900 high schools, 900 students. So you know what to do. You keep walking. If you walk slow, you get run over. Someone spills their Takis. Someone sticks you with a pencil. Someone gets mad at you. Hey, freshman, keep walking. Okay. All right. Do you need to turn on your turn signal if you're merging? Yes. Whenever you make a directional lane change, you always use your turn signal. How do you know what people are doing? Well, people merging out, they need to use their left blinker to merge out. If they don't, we don't know they're making a lane change. There are 2 common types of accidents on the expressway: a side swipe and rear end collision. A side swipe is when literally someone side swipes your door. It could be a semi truck. You're in their blind spot. They don't know you're there. So as a result, let's pretend Owen is walking. He's eating his sandwich. And he gets over to the right. He drops his food on the ground. And we look at him like, dude, I know, I love it, man. Looks good. Keep eating. He drops his food on the ground. He side swipes you. You got mustard on your shirt. You're like, bro, wipe this off. Okay, I'm sorry. So you got to look around. You got to use your blinker. In your school parking lot, you come up to a stop sign. You're going left. People are walking. If you don't use your blinker, you're going to run the people over. You're stopped in your school parking lot. You've got to go right. People are walking in front of you. If you don't use your blinker, no one knows what you're doing. So build those habits from the beginning. And then mentally, you will always use your blinker. One day it's going to save your life. Little kids are walking. You turn on your blinker to pull into your driveway. And then the kids run into you, hi, Allie, because they've been watching you. You know how to drive. Can you take us? No, I'm tired. You're mean. I'm telling my mom. Right? Because little kids watch you. You're their hero. I am? Yeah, you are. Okay. How many seconds before do we need to look entering the freeway? It depends on how fast you're going. It's the car length for every 10 miles an hour. The faster you go, the more space you need. So I would put a second for every car length. So you want to look ahead. It's like you walk in the hallway at school. You see the principal walking down the hallway and you're skipping class. You turn the other way. But the principal has the security cameras footage in his phone. Right? You know what to do. Look down your hallway. You should be able to look down the hallway to the other end of the hallway. I'm sorry, sir, my eyes aren't that good. Well, if your eyes aren't that good, you're going to struggle keeping the car in the lane. Some of you wear eyeglasses. That's fine. Some of you don't have good vision. That's fine. This is why you have eyeglasses on. These are gaming glasses, right? These are gaming glasses because I got this ring light. Okay, I still have good vision. Thank God. Carotene. Eat your carrots. But you know how to use your eyes. This is why we want to keep the windshield clean in the car, keep our headlights clean. So you've learned to look down the hallway. And a lot of you will stare at the speedometer, just like you did on your first drive. You were driving good, but then you look down. And then you're going off the road to the right. And I'm saying, don't look at the speedometer. Sorry, I just got to know how fast I'm going. Every time you look, car goes off to the right. Okay? So look ahead, car length for every 10 miles an hour. I need more questions. 1, 2, 3. Four, 5. Okay, so how can I improve my mirror checks and make them more consistent? It does take time. It's a quick glance. Mirror, turn signal, blind spot. Mirror, turn signal, blind spot. A lot of you will look too slow, and then the car goes off to the left. A lot of you will turn the wheel, and the car goes over to the right. It's all practice. It all takes time. You're just going to have 6 drives with your instructor, and then you're going to be driving whole life with mom and dad. Yeah. So you've got to get that practice. It does take time. This is why I'm really thorough, very methodic. I really try to do a good job, and I really try to prepare you for best practice. And when I prepare you for best practice, you're going to do very well. Passing your driving test takes practice, parallel parking, lane changing, right of way, speed control. Beginner drivers drive too slow. If you go over the speed limit, automatic failure. If you hit something, automatic failure. If you can't parallel park. So it takes practice. So the consistency will come once you get out there more and more. What's the best way to stay centered? Lane line reference. You look at the white line to the right. You see the broken yellow or broken white line. You want to keep the car in the center, just like in the hallway at school. How do you keep from walking into the lockers? You're looking at the lockers. You see the lockers, and you see the sophomores and juniors and seniors. And if you bump into a freshman, if you bump into a junior, senior, you got a problem because you're at the bottom of the food chain. You look straight down the hallway. All of you should know how to walk straight, 1 foot in front of the other. This is a good example. When you're driving, you keep your car straight. If you look at the line to the right, you're going to go off the road to the right. If you look in your mirrors to try to keep your car straight, you're going to hug 1 lane to the right or 1 lane to the left. If I do my job the first couple of drives, you're really going to pick it up, and you're really going to help. In terms of manual transmissions, we don't really teach on a manual. A lot of driving schools don't do that anymore. 90% of the cars we'll drive are automatics, but some driving schools do teach on manuals. Your parents know how to drive a manual, hopefully. I do. My wife does. I have a couple of cousins that do. Now, the heavy duty, high performance racing, 4 speeds and 5 speeds, I'm terrible because I don't know how to hit that clutch just right. You bip the clutch in second gear. You hit the clutch, third gear. You hit the clutch, fourth gear. If you hit it too early, you're going to miss third gear. So I blew up a couple of T5 transmissions in my Camaro. I missed third gear multiple times, and it cost me about $350 or $400. I knew how to take the transmission out. 4 bolts, disconnect, pull out the clutch fork, drop the drive shaft, get a jack. Yes, Aiden, I know how to pull out. Aiden's like, tell me more. You put the jack under the transmission, you drop the cross member, you kind of bench press that transmission up. It's not that heavy. I think the bolts were 11 millimeter or 12, and I took the transmission out because I blew up third gear. I had to take it to the transmission shop, and once they took it apart, third gear was all chewed up because I always missed third gear because I was terrible at shifting at the right time. But I learned how to drive a manual in the neighborhood because I was going about 10 miles an hour, not letting up off the gas and kind of hitting that clutch real fast, kind of baby power shifting. And that's how you learn. Oh, and I want some. I'm thirsty. I'm playing with you, brother. But driving with a manual can be fun if you have someone who really loves cars. If you have an older, sloppy, loose manual transmission, it's really a nightmare because you can't find second gear. You miss third gear, and it feels really loose. But if you have a tight, new transmission, it's like cutting butter. Bam, bam. You're like, I really love this because you can hit all those shifts at that RPM, and the car's like boom, boom, boom. It's so fun. So I'm an enthusiast, but I couldn't drive those heavier duty Hemi 4 speeds, Muncie 4 speeds. I could shift it, but I really couldn't power shift it. Like your uncle or auntie who grew up with the manual. They were like, you get out, you can't drive this thing. We ban you. I'm like, why? Because I was terrible. But I got a new shifter. I got a Hurst shifter, and it made my shifting smoother, but I still was missing third gear. So my friends banned me from driving their nice cars because I couldn't shift the gear. I was terrible. So that's real. And by me sharing that story with you, you're going to have an uncle, auntie. When should I use hand over hand? When you are reverse parallel parking. When you're backing into a driveway, you turn the wheel hand over hand to get that car in the driveway. When you're parallel parking, you turn hand over hand to get the rear of the car in 12 inches or less for the curb. If you palm the wheel, you could lose control. If you do hand to hand, you can't get the car in efficiently enough. That's always a big debate. Hand over hand, hand to hand. People love to argue about that. As long as you can effectively steer, okay? So you want to look at your parents. Are they palming the wheel? This is palming the wheel. Are they throwing underhand? That is so dangerous because if you use underhand, you can literally go in the wrong lane. So I don't let beginning drivers use underhand. You're going to throw the car left, throw the car right. And once you learn from me, you can do whatever you want. If you want to drive with your knee, that's your life. That's your car. That's your mom. That's your dad. With me, we're going to learn the right way. You're like, thank you. Okay. So, and then push pull, you're going around a curve. You just turn slowly around a curve. You don't do hand over a curve. You're going to go off to the left and hit a car. And then you're going to look at me. I'm going to look at you. I'm going to call the driving school. Your parents are going to come and get you and you go home. We don't want that. We want you to have a good experience. So I will take you in really tight areas where you got to turn hand over hand in, hand over hand out. I'm going to take you around some curves, okay, where you have to learn. So it's really important. My dad has a motorcycle. Amen. Alante, what size is it? Is it a 650, 750, 850? Is it 1,000 cc? Ask him. Type it in. Okay? Type it in. Is it a Harley? Most, I don't know, guys and ladies over 35 or 40, they're on a Harley. You know, you're comfortable, you're sitting up. But if you want to be on that crotch rocket, having that helmet, like, yeah. Okay, but after you get older, you're like, I sold my crotch rocket. Dad, I'm 18 now. Son, when you were born, either I had to sell my motorcycle or we had to get a truck. Okay? And crotch rockets are awesome, but it takes a lot of practice. I've been on a few. Okay? Please mute yourself. Come on. You got some people fighting there, Caitlin. Control that, Caitlin. Anyway, put in the CC size. He had a crash. I'm sad. My brother does. What size motor? What's the CC? Ask him the brand name or to send a text. 250 dirt bike is nice. Those are smaller dirt bikes. You know, you got them on the farm. They're good. Okay. It's all good. There's a time and place for everything, right? You can learn on one of those first. And you want to go a little bit faster. We spoke, not supposed to look at the speedometer. How do we say at the same speed? You will learn, like walking in high school. If you walk too slow, you're going to get tardies. If you walk too fast, you'll be too early and step on everyone's feet. So let's use that example. If you go too fast, you're going to be tailgating cars, and people are going to get mad at you. If you go too slow, people are going to start tailgating you. So you want to learn to go with the flow. You're looking at a piece of plastic. I don't have a... Yes. I have a piece of plastic. Pretend this is your speedometer. This is 40. This is 50. This is 60. This is 70. I'm going to try to look cross-eyed. Don't laugh at me. I'm looking at a speedometer. Do I look cross-eyed? Okay, yeah. Andrew's like, yeah, you look cross-eyed, bro. Okay, this is you looking at your speedometer. You should be looking at the road. I'll be you again. This is the speedometer actually to the left. This is you looking at the speedometer, but you should be looking at the road. Every time I look at the speedometer, I go off the road to the right. Don't look at the speedometer. Look where you're going. But I'm scared to, you will learn. But some of you won't trust yourself because this is a new experience. That's a good example. How do we keep the speed control within 1 or 2? You will learn through time. You only want to use cruise control on the highway or expressway when there are not a lot of cars around. You're driving from New York to Florida. You're driving from Michigan to Nebraska. You're driving from Dallas, Texas to Los Angeles, California. Cruise control is meant for long distances. You don't want to use cruise control in heavy traffic because it's stop and go, stop and go. Every time you hit the brake, the cruise control will be deactivated. So you will learn to get that tight window of speed with your foot. In the beginning, you're going to be hitting that gas, hitting that brake, and you're going to panic. Right around 15 to 20 minutes, you're going to relax. So I need to let you learn to relax. If I keep clocking your T, meaning getting on you too hard, you're going to start crying. You're going to start not being confident. I want you to be confident. I don't want you crying. Some people are type A personality. Some people are high achievers. I've gotten everything right in my life. Not at driving. I'm perfect. Not at driving. Why do I struggle? Because you're scared to make a mistake. So sometimes I get students who are really high achievers and then they panic, they get mad, and then you start crying or you start turning red or you start gripping the wheel or your hands start sweating. Wipe off your hands, let your pride go, and let's learn how to drive. You will learn. I always talk to your parent. Is this your first one through? No, this is my fifth one. Get in the car and drive. This is my first baby through. Get in the car and drive. So I'm not going to like overhype it. We'll go around the school 4 or 5 times. We'll make 12 right turns, 12 left turns. We'll do some parking. We'll really work on our steering fundamentals. And then you're out there. It takes time. Everyone's different. How should I adjust my driving if I'm in the snow or rain? You want to be in the tracks of other cars. You should drive slower than the posted speed limit because of the basic speed law. Whenever there's hazardous conditions, rain, snow, fog, you want to drive slower than the limit because you can get a ticket for driving at the speed limit. And everyone is different. A tall 6'6" guy or girl is going to move faster because they have longer legs. A guy or girl who's 4'11" has a smaller stride, so they're going to walk different. They're going to drive different. They're going to move different. If you think you're not in danger in the snow, you're going to end up speeding and smash your car. If you think you're not in danger in the rain and you've been doing burnouts and spinning your tires, as soon as you get up to 30, your car's going to hydroplane and you're going to roll your car. So you should always drive slower in the snow and rain. We all are visual learners. So you are watching other cars. Like when you're in high school, you're going to see those sophomores and juniors. I want Mr. Green. Why? He's an AP teacher. He's really good, but he's very hard. Okay, I'm going to follow what they're doing. I'm going to get an A. I'm going to get a B. I see a driver with a 4.0. She talked to me. This is the driving school you want. This is the person you want. Why? He's a great guy. Great lady. They really made me work. I learned a lot. And then I can call them sometime. I can talk to them. They're driving my best friend. So they're going to learn from other people what to do, going too fast in a big truck, going too fast on the motorcycle. Some of you never told me what type of big engines your parents have in the motorcycles. I got a 250. No parents are riding 1,000cc. Kawasaki, Suzuki. I gotta have some parents riding those big bikes. I mean, they are incredible. Okay, and that's at the top of the food chain. They're $15,000, $18,000, $20,000 bikes, but you can get one for $5,000 off. Someone bought a bike, they're going to use it for 3,000 miles. You can get it for, it costs $22,000. You can get it for $17,000. You don't have to drive a fast bike fast. You need to drive a fast bike smart. I'd rather have a faster bike than a slower bike to get in and out of dangerous situations. A semi-truck merges on. If I'm in the 600cc, if I'm in 1,000, come on, baby. You've seen some of those fast bikes. You've seen them. Big old motors. They look like a work of art. Love bikes, love motors, love cars. Okay. How can I predict what our drivers will do? You'll learn how they move. They'll kind of hug a lane and then cut over. Or you'll learn how they merge out. You see them merging out and they're cutting all the way over across your face, all the way to the left. And you're like, oh my God, that's so dangerous. You don't want to become that driver because you're looking over your shoulder so long, you hit someone. Do one lane at a time. Leave early. Okay? Have your coffee all set up in the morning. I'm not like that. Well, don't drink coffee. I don't drink Monster Energy drinks. That's too much. I'll be too out of control, right? Get up a little bit earlier. Have your clothes set the night before. Do your homework. So in the morning, you can relax And maybe your parents might let you drive to school. Or maybe they won't. Or maybe they will. Or maybe they won't. Ask mom and dad. They're like, no. Okay. Right? You got to keep asking them. Eventually, they're going to say, yeah. So you'll learn how to predict what other drivers will do. High school is a little bit different. You can't. The choppers, the custom bikes, they're a little scary. You got that long front end. They're like laying back like this. I'm like, no. I'd rather have a crotch rocket or a Harley Davidson that's fast enough to maneuver in and out. So again, I'm asking you to type in engine size, okay? I'd rather have a faster bike or a faster car to maneuver in and out of traffic if a truck is merging over, if someone is merging over, or if I have to make a quick maneuver. You'll learn to have that power. And Alante asked me because we went to see an SR. Alante, the truck is gone. SRT Jeep is gone. I don't know if someone bought it or I knew it wouldn't be there long. It's gone, man. I'm like, unless the person at the dealership moved it somewhere, because that boy could be gone. With that gray color, beautiful. So it's nice to have the horsepower to maneuver in and out of traffic, but if you're using it to like go 1,000 miles an hour, you're going to get a ticket and crash. So you'll learn how to identify what drivers will do. How do I improve my ability to react quickly to situations that can change abruptly? I love these questions. Come on with them questions. Leave room. If you're walking in a crowd of people, someone might start fighting. Boom, boom, boom. You catch an elbow. What happened? I got my glasses knocked off. You looking crazy. Ellie's like, really? Don't walk in crowds of people. Leave room. I want to be ahead of the crowd or behind the crowd. I'm different like that. I don't like being around crowds of people. I want to have room. If you're in a wolf pack, if someone hits brakes, you're going to rear them. Multiple car collision. We've had those in our state. Multiple car collision. Leave room, leave space. You have to learn to drive with good speed, good space, and a smile. So you can see cars moving to the left, the middle, and the right. The left, middle, right. Have space. When entering a highway, who should have the right of way, and how do I know? Hold on. I don't know when I'm able to merge. If you're merging on a highway, you have to yield to traffic already on the highway. If you're merging on a highway, you have to yield. This means either you're going to have to speed up to get ahead of traffic or slow down and get behind traffic. Typically, beginning drivers with anxiety, they do nothing. You like freeze. And I'm saying, Owen, hello. I'm joking, Owen, hello. Owen is like, I'm sorry, I froze up. It's okay, brother. Push the gas. The semi truck is coming. Oh, okay. So our driver's head car is medium fast. I like it because we have the horsepower to maneuver out. There's slow driver's head cars. They're fast driver's head cars that are scary to beginning drivers because if you hit the gas, it's going to go real fast. And you're like, oh. So I'm trying to teach you that speed control the first and second drive. So don't wear thick shoes. Wear thin sole shoes. So you have to yield to traffic already on. But we don't want to put ourselves in danger. You got to be able to push that gas and go because the expressway merge lane is ending. And if you don't merge over, you're going to be riding on the side of the road. I believe it's a crotch rocket and it's blue. Okay, well, talk to the Guardian. How fast is it? What size motor? What habits should I build now long term? Defensive driving, school parking lot. The seniors will walk in front of you. The teachers will walk in front of you. The band people will walk in front of you. The football players will walk in front of you. The soccer moms will walk in front of you. So you got to remember, people think they have bumpers. You got to be that defensive driver in the school parking lot. You've been in the school parking lot. You know it's crazy. The seniors are going out of there really fast. Okay? The students who want to get there early and do homework in the lobby and relax and talk to their friends. They're there early. I'm not that, sir. I just get there on time. That's okay. Someone I know really close comes there late every day. Not me. I come early and I sit in the car a few minutes. I relax. Okay. I come in, make my copies, set everything up. Gino, don't fall asleep on me, buddy. Come on. So you really got to like stay alert. You got to be prepared. And I say just being a defensive driver, keeping good speed and good space, learning the process. And I think most of you do want to learn, but some of you want to learn quick. You're going to have an accident quick. You're going to get tickets quick. And then you're not going to learn from your mistakes. The mistake is running the light, not checking blind spots, being the first one out of the parking lot. Okay? If you're the first one out, you're speeding. You're running to your car, you're speeding out of there. Okay? So just being a defensive driver, having good speed control. What is something most students don't realize until it's too late? How to stop, not checking blind spots, panicking through roundabouts, thinking other drivers care about us. They don't. You have to be a defensive driver. My dad has a Harley. Okay. Ooh, hold on. It's a banger, it's a 1200cc. That's a big boy. Okay. What's the difference between driving actively? Okay, what is the difference between driving and actively reading the road? In the hallway at school, you're walking down the hallway. You can tell the kids who are the jocks. You can tell the kids who are the artistic, intelligent type. You can tell the kids who are the tall athletes because they're tall. You can tell the jocks, they have athletic gear on. You can tell the kids who are preppy. I be changing it up. I got my button down, right? I switch up on them. I'm dressy casual. And you'll learn this as you drive on the road. You can tell the drivers who are kind of really in a hurry, getting out there, one blinker, cut you off. You can tell the drivers who are checking a blind spot, three blinks, then they get over smoothly. You can tell the drivers who use two blinks and they cut you off. You can tell the drivers who are hesitant, they look, hesitate, that's you. They look, hesitate. And once you see those, you'll develop patterns in your brain. You don't have patterns yet because you haven't driven long enough yet, but you will when you're done with your instructor over time. But if you don't get out and drive, you won't learn those patterns. How to make a safe left turn, how to merge, how to parallel park. It'll be a struggle. So it does take time. And I'm using the high school. Okay. Yamaha. Ooh. Okay, there we go. Yes, go ahead. Use the bathroom. My stepdad has a Triumph. Nice bike. Type what you learned. We had some good questions. Type what you learned from our discussion. Keep it going. We're going to do a quizzing in a moment. Type what you learned. Good discussion. We're going deep. Motorcycles, cars. I'm using a lot more high school examples because this to help you identify dangerous drivers. You can identify dangerous students. They come in late. They're not really paying attention. You can find students who are in a hurry. They're running down the hallway. And you go around the corner, they almost knock you down because they're always late. You can find students who come in early. They're relaxed, chilled. You can see this in your school environment. It's just like this when you drive, right? In the high school environment, in the school parking lot. Okay? Because I'm an instructor, when I go to pick you up, I can see the students who are really looking. I can see the students who just blow past the stop sign. I can see the students who don't look. So you are those students until you learn defensive driving strategies. I like it because you're asking some really deeper level questions. You're asking better questions in my class last month. because I'm tying high school in, because that's your dangerous environment. You see it every day. The school bus comes in the morning. If you see a car cut off a school bus, you're about to have a problem. You see kids who know how to park in between the lines. You see kids who are parking sideways. You see kids who are late flying down the back road. You'll see it every single day because they haven't learned. They either haven't had a crash yet, haven't had an accident yet, but they haven't learned. And unfortunately, they could learn by crashing, because this morning it was very slick, very icy. Had to start up the car, let it run a few minutes, get some heat in the engine. So you will learn through your high school environment. That's the most dangerous place you guys will be if your parents let you drive to school or from school. And if you are nervous because there are 1,000 people coming into your school parking lot, just say, no, honey, get out. You've been here at this turn for 5 minutes. I'm sorry. Honey, you got to get out, get in the back. Boom, your mom and dad makes their turn. So your parents will eventually let you drive to school, and they'll be quiet. They'll be quiet because maybe they talk too much or they don't help you. Every parent is different. Okay? If you're the second or third kid, get in and drive. Mom and dad, I'm nervous. Drive. Mom and dad, I'm really nervous. Drive. Because they're going to have to push you out on the road. Some of you don't want to get on the road. I'm not at home with you. I don't cook for you. I drive with you on the weekend, but I don't cook for you. Yielding is very confusing too. You'll panic at yield signs. You'll panic at yellow lights. In some communities, if you run a yellow light, you're going to get a ticket. Some communities, if you don't stop at a right turn on red, you're going to get a ticket. And if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, you could get into an accident. You will get a ticket. And if you have one ticket, you've messed it up until you're about 20 or 21, because you won't be able to take segment 2. You're going to get a ticket. Your parents' insurance will go up. And then they're going to take the car from you because you're not reliable. You're not trustworthy. They can't trust you. Some of your parents will do that. I don't care. We'll let you wait till you're 18 or 20. Some parents are like, well, you're going to be grounded for 30 days. Okay? And then you'll just sit. What happened? I can't drive, man. Why? I made a mistake. Can you pick me up tomorrow? Okay. What happened, dude? I don't want to talk about it. Tell me later. Okay. So, yeah, go to the bathroom. So you will learn, and hopefully your parents don't take your head off, meaning screaming at you, making you feel bad. But so many parents will clock your tea in a minute. That's not my job. Okay, we're going to do a couple of quick quizzes. We're going to see some videos, and then you're going to finish your next set. So I'm going to give you a number, and I really like the discussion, so give me 1 second. Guys, you're going to join in too. You got to understand local laws. Texas is different than Michigan. Florida is different than Nebraska. You have to understand local laws. That's a very good point. And if you don't, you're going to get a ticket. And you get one ticket, you're going to be messed up. In Ohio, if you don't pay your ticket, you're going to be arrested. Other states, you can get a ticket, go to court, and try to fight it. But if you're in a place like Ohio, you don't have the money for your ticket, you're going to get messed up. I'm putting in a quizzy. I will give you a moment. So night driving is very overwhelming for beginning drivers. Okay, I found a very good quizzy, and this is really going to bring you some value. Yes, go to the bathroom. Give me 1 second. Okay, I'll give you the code in a minute. Just like in evolution, a few years ago, Quizzy wasn't here. They're now Wayfair. They sold. The big thing back then was Kahoot. All teachers use Kahoot now. It's AI generated tests, study guides, material. We're going to do a share, and then I'm going to give you a code. All of you need to participate in this. Hold on. Come on. Okay, already. Okay, hold on. Oh, I almost ended the meeting. I'm tripping. Hold on. All right, here we go. All right, joinmyquiz.com. Again, joinmyquiz.com. 263-564. Now, this is a different type of Quizzy. This is more structured toward driver's education because Quizzy is a user-generated educational group of tests, and some questions are mid, some questions are really good. I put some questions in, and this is how they develop their library over time. They offer a free version. And as an educator, I use the free version. The paid version, you have unlimited storage. I can scale it out. I can email your parents. This is when we get higher levels of learning. This is from kindergarten through PhD. If I was a PhD professor, I could put some different cases in. We can look at it. I could help you prepare for your thesis, your master's. At the high school level, driver's education, I can put in higher level thinking questions, and I could look at what questions you got wrong, what questions you got right. So it really depends on the teacher and what they want. Good teachers are going to put in really, really good prompts, good information. Okay, start. And I think for a lot of you, Quizzy offers a higher level of thinking. It's just one tool that you can use. And I need you to put in your questions. Definitely got to understand local laws. Like if I went to the UK right now, I know how to drive a manual, but I'm driving on the opposite side of the road. That would throw me off. I would be scared. I would have to get used to it. I know how to go through a roundabout, but those huge roundabouts, I'm panicking. I'm nervous. I know how to drive through a roundabout. So I would probably have someone who's familiar in that area take me out until I get used to driving on the left. I got used to going in some of those huge roundabouts, right? Let's talk about the Autobahn. They're going at 120 miles an hour. I'm used to driving in the United States going 70, or someone's going 140. Okay? I'm going to get ran over. Why am I in the left lane? Someone's flashing lights. Get over. I'm driving at 70. They're going 140. So you need to understand the environment, understand local laws. I think I can drive a semi-truck, right? I know how to start one. I wiggle the shifter. I push in the clutch. Either I turn the key or push a button. I'm going to let it start up. Let it get up to temperature. I know how to drive a manual, but to hit a button and shift it to a different gear, I know how to hit a clutch. I know how to push in the clutch, shift first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. And then you hit a button and there's higher gears. I think I can do that. Backing up, I could back up the truck, but backing up in a trailer, right? That takes time because I have an 18-foot open trailer and I have a 1968 RS Camaro. I know how to back it into the garage. It takes time. But if I turn the wheel too fast, I'm going to break my tail light like I did. If I'm not paying attention, I'm going to put a hole in the back wall like I did. So um, I know how to drive an exotic sports car. I know how to shift. I know when to shift, listening to the motor. A right hand, because our steering wheel is on the left. We're here in the United States. We drive on the right. To drive a car that is from Japan and the steering wheel is on the right, it's a little different. But I think once you get used to it, over time you can. And I think I can improve. I think what you're learning today is to overcome anxiety. Prepare yourself for the next challenge. This apple's soft. Right? I think not driving when you're tired. Not driving when you're upset. Once you're ready, we'll go over it. And I ask you to join my quiz, 263-564. Understand the laws, that's the most important thing. Two, 564. And I think feeling comfortable. Driving on the expressway can be very overwhelming. This apple's terrible. Understanding laws, learning to think for yourself. Learning to understand. Being a leader instead of a follower. Keep working. I see a few people who are finishing up. Having enough confidence in yourself. I think early on, at 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, if you're not driving to your 20s, that's okay. If you're not driving to your 30s, that's okay. Maybe your family took you everywhere. Everyone's a little bit different. You've got to learn to take your time, believe in yourself. If you had an accident, you're going to have a lot of doubt, and you won't believe in yourself. Now learn to believe in yourself. If you ride on a motorcycle and you take a crash, you're going to doubt yourself. If you panic around semi-trucks, you're going to hesitate around semi-trucks. And the younger Canadian semi-truck drivers are the ones that are making mistakes. Some of my older Canadian semi-truck drivers got me straight. They said, hey, you're an Impala. It's not the older semi-truck Canadian drivers. It's the younger ones. All right, here we go. We're going to look at this information. I'm moving forward. I'm going to end the test. Yes. Let's look at data. Okay. Give me 1 second. I don't want to help make it better. All right, I'm going to look at data. Classroom accuracy is 73%. I like that. Question 6 was a tough one. 9 out of 15 players struggled. Question 1 is the longest question, so we're going to look at that. I'm looking at data. I'm going to view the report. I'm going to look at questions. What should you do when your wheels slip off the edge of the road? Very good question. U.S. beginning drivers will panic. You'll overturn, underturn, slow down, and turn back onto the road when safe. If you go off the road, it's okay. But you want to try to get back on to the lip of the road when it's safe. If you are about to hit If you're about to be hit from the rear, what should you do? Out of these questions, all of the above, press your back of your head firmly against the headrest. Brace yourself between the steering wheel and the back seat. No. Be ready to apply your brakes so you don't be pushed. So in this particular one, it was all the above. When you're taking the test, you want to look for the best answer. If you find yourself in the skid while driving, you must, I know this picture wasn't really good, ease off the gas and carefully steer into the direction you want the car to go. 9 of you got that right. 6 of you got it wrong. You don't want to apply the brakes. You don't want to apply the brakes. Ease your foot off of the gas and carefully turn the opposite way you want to go. You want to steer into the direction you want to go. If you suddenly have no control of your steering wheel, you should ease your foot off the gas pedal. 3 of you picked the wrong answer. You don't want to apply the brakes hard. Ease your foot off the brake pedal. It says ease your foot off the gas pedal. What should you do if your brakes fail? All the above. Take your foot off the gas pedal. That's the first thing you do because you're going to keep going fast. Next, shift the car into low gear. Yes, that will slow you down because you're downshifting into a lower gear. Just like in a manual. If you're in 4th gear, you shift it to 3rd gear. You can slow the car down. If you're in 3rd gear, you can shift it to 1st. Shift it to 2nd. Okay? So all of these choices will help you slow down. Next, if the rear of your vehicle begins to skid to the right, what should you do? Turn your front wheels to the right because you're straightening out the car. You don't turn it to the left. You don't keep the wheel straight. You got to turn it to the right. You want to straighten out the car. 6 of you got that right. 9 of you got it wrong. If you see a car coming towards you in your lane, you should do all the above. Steer off the right if possible. Brake fast, but do not lock your wheel. Blow your horn, flash your lights to warn other drivers. 8 of you got it right. 6 of you got it wrong. 1 didn't attempt it. Let's keep moving. If your rear wheels start to skid, you must turn the steering wheel in the direction of the skid. It's the same type of question. Turn your wheels to the right. Turn your wheels in the opposite direction of the skid. 11 of you got it right. 4 of you got it wrong. We don't have time, but I could actually click it and see the 4 students who got it wrong. And then I could do another micro test session with you. That's using data. I can see what questions you got wrong and give it to you as homework. If the braking action has been reduced due to water or rain, I like this. Apply blank until proper braking action is restored. I like this question because it makes you think. You're like, what? If the braking action has been reduced, meaning your brakes don't work as good, due to water or rain, which it will. You want to pump the brakes several times. That's going to heat up the brakes, burn up the water. So you want to pump them several times. So 13 of you got it right, 2 of you got it wrong. We got an average of 53%. If you are about to be struck from behind when stopped at a stop sign, what should you do? It says release the brakes just before the collision. Because if you don't have your foot on the brake, you're going to be knocked into the intersection. If you shift into reverse, you're going to go into reverse, but you're closing the distance. That's dumb. If you put the parking brake on, the car won't roll forward. So you want some momentum, but you don't want to be knocked into the intersection. 8 of you got it right, 7 of you got it wrong. So this tells me you don't understand a driving situation. If I'm looking at data from a different perspective. When you have a blowout, what should you do first? Some of you might not understand what a blowout is. So 6 of you got it right, 9 of you got it wrong. So that one word, blowout. Blowout is a flat tire. The tire blows up or blows out because your car is riding on a tire that is full of air, and it blows out. So you have a blowout. You don't have a blow in. You don't have a blow up. It's a blow out. So apply hard pressure. No. Quickly pull off the road. No. You'll lose control. You want to grip the steering wheel firmly. So this tells me you would probably get this right again if you take it again. Never remove the radiator cap on a hot engine. 14 of you got it right. 1 burned your face because the liquid inside is hot and it will scald you. Some of you might not know what that means. You'll burn your skin off. The liquid is over 220 degrees. All of you have boiled water before. If you stick your finger in there, it's going to burn. So the same thing in the car. The coolant is used to cool the motor down. Hydroplaning occurs when your tires, 12 of you got it right, 3 of you got it wrong. You lose contact. Hydro is water. Plane means to lift. So your car's riding on water. You lose control. You lose contact with the road. Rain tends to make roadways slickest. As the rain begins to fall up to 15 minutes. The correct answer is D. So the oil and gas and grit are mixing together. If you stop on the shoulder of the roadway in a heavy fog, warn other drivers that you are not moving by using your hazard lights. 14 of you got it right, 1 didn't attempt it. So this tells me 1 of you quit, thought it wasn't important. When driving at night with no other vehicles present, you should use your high beams so you can see more. An oncoming car crosses the center line and drives into your lane. Maintain control and slow. Stop as quickly as possible. Speed up onto the shoulder. You'll lose control. Driving to other lane is empty. 10 of you got it right. 5 of you got it wrong. Smoke is coming from your vehicle's engine compartment. Ooh, I like this question. You have stopped in a safe place. What should you do? Get the heck out of your car. Turn off the ignition. Your car could blow up. That happened to me. I had a fuel leak in my Camaro. Unfortunately, my car burned. It caught on fire. I had a fuel leak. The fuel line was leaking. The insurance company gave me an option. They were going to pay my whole car off, or they were going to give me the car back and give me $5,000. I just told them to keep the car. They paid the car off. So if your car is smoking like that, turn it off and get out of there. 5 of you got it wrong. If a tire suddenly goes flat when you're driving, you must. Same type of question, 4 of you got it wrong. Hold the steering wheel tightly. I appreciate you too, fam. Make sure you subscribe. So you've got to hold that steering wheel, and it's very scary. You're going to feel like you have a heart attack, like you're about to go into the wall. You're about to go hit the guardrail, but then you realize, I got control of the car. And then you pull over, you're like, oh my God, I almost died. But I held it. And that's really scary. You will experience that one time in your life. If you are approaching an unauthorized emergency vehicle, making use of an audible or visual sign, you must. If you're approaching an unauthorized, I said unauthorized. An authorized emergency vehicle, you need to obviously get over to the right. Okay, immediately drive to the portion of the road to the right edge. Type in what you learned, please. Type in what you learned. This is a good session. I like this one. This was different questions. Your car put smoke into the engine compartment. Your car went off the shoulder of the road. In fact, let's use data. Put in what you learned. This is the free version. I'm going to see if I can use data. Okay, Quizzy, I'm sorry, Kahoot can't do this. Live dashboard, email, appreciate you, accommodation standards, anti-cheat overview. If you want to look and see the questions you missed, hold on. The majority of you missed question. Hold on. I can look at it. Question 6. If the rear of your vehicle begins to skid to the right, you should turn your wheels to the right. View all students. I can view all students. We're not capping on you. We're just looking at what you missed. I can tell the kids who missed it. I can tell the kids who got it right. Too many of you missed it. If we break this down, you will get it. Okay? 40% accuracy, that's not good enough. I'm hard on myself. Question 7. If you see a car coming towards you in your lane, you should, all the above, view all students. 8 of you got it right, 6 of you got it wrong. Correct, 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 incorrect, no cap, correct, incorrect, no cap, correct, correct, no cap, no cap, no cap. So this tells me you don't understand the question. Okay? And this is the base version. It took some of you 30 seconds, and that's okay. If we had more time, we could redo these questions and make a study guide. And I'm thinking about doing that in my next session. I could assign this as homework. Okay? We got anti-cheat on. Okay, I can make standards too. I don't have time. Type in what we're doing. Another Quizzy, Wham Bam, On Scene TV. Do you want to see the accidents from normal people, from state police officers? Type in what you want to see. Yes, I'm going to assign your homework. You already know you're going to do from 101 to 215. That's your homework. Let's knock it out tonight because you're not going to want to do tomorrow. I'm just looking at this. Hold on. Let me get to the chat. Wham Bam. Wham Bam. We all love Wham Bam. Wham Bam. Wham Bam. Wham Bam. But I thought this is good. We went a little bit deeper with the questions. Right? And if I really want you to become elite, and like if this is an AP driver's education class, we have to get every question right. We need to get 90% to get the gold certificate, and one of you will get your driver's education paid for. You're like, I'm going to be that person. But you can't miss any questions. If we raise the stakes, some of you will study. I'm going to get driver's education free. We'll give you a refund. Wow, imagine that. Okay, you can see the averages. So I like this. This is clean data. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's a bell-shaped curve. We have 45 on one side. We have 95 on the other. And it's in thirds. It's always a bell-shaped curve. I could click on evaluate. Okay, I'm just looking. I'm a nerd like that. I like looking at data because I want to make myself better. I could expand. Okay. These are all the questions each of you got right and wrong. I can send it to you on your phone. I could print it out. That's pretty cool. This feature is available only on base plan. So Michael got 80% accuracy, 16 points out of 20. His score is 1352. So when I used to do Kahoot, we used to look at all the numbers. Everyone put your number in. What's the average? But now we have Quizzy. We can look at accuracy, points, score, and time. It's not really a race. A lot of you try to race. Okay. So we're just looking at data. All right, give me 1 second. I want to say thank you for joining the live. Thank you, E, again. Subscribe, follow. Thank you so much. I really appreciate all of you. Thank you, E, again. Bye.